Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning, my dear students. Welcome to our new lesson of Mega Goal 4. Today, inshallah, we are going to take a new lesson on your student book, pages 60 and 61. It's on Unit 4, 8, reading. At first, my dear students, I wanted to show you the plan of the lesson of today. As I told you, our lesson today is on Unit 4. You are what you eat. Student book, page 60 and 61, reading. In today's lesson, inshallah, we are going to, number one, check the homework we took the last lesson. Number two, read the text for specific information. Number three, guess the meaning of the new words. Number four, discuss some questions related to the reading text. Number five, show some important sites that can help you to enhance your English. Number six, and it's the last part of the lesson, end the lesson with a quiz on the class point. Okay, now my dear students, let's go to the first part. It's about the homework. At first, I want you to open your student book on page 59. At first, to check the homework I gave you before. I want you to open on exercise 7, vocabulary building. I told you before, my dear students, to look carefully at these words, and I told you to match them with their meanings and put them on your mind, because we are going to use them or know these words or face these words in the reading text. So I want you to pay attention, and I will show you the answers for this exercise, and I want you to put them on your mind before starting the new lesson. Okay, good. Okay, now my dear students, let's go to the new lesson of today. It's on page 60. This is the second part of the lesson of today. I want you to pay attention, my dear students, and open your student book on this page and follow me to know some specific information related to the lesson. Our lesson today is about reading. He wants us to read this article and underline the information that tells how certain popular foods were discovered. So, my dear students, I want you to participate me and read this text to get the information we need. And after finishing to read this text, we can discuss some questions. We can know some meanings of new words. So I want you to pay attention and follow me to know all this information. As you see, my dear students, the title of the article is Accidental Food Discoveries. Okay, now I want a student to start reading. Uh, I want a student to start reading from the beginning. عمر، محمد، حمدان، وليث، برافو. مين تاني يا شباب؟ احنا عاوزين الناس كلها اللي موجودة معانا تستعد كده للمشاركة، ويكون في مشاركة فعالة كده. يلا اتفضل يا عمر. طيب wait me my dear students. one, 1 minute. 1 minute only. اتفضل يا عمر. Now uh, I want you to start reading from the beginning. عمر محمد حمدان. عمر, do you hear me عمر؟ سامعني؟ طيب في مشكلة تقريبا عندك يا عمر في المايك. طيب نشوف ليث. اتفضل يا ليث.
Yes, Mr.
Leith, I want you to start reading from the beginning.
Okay. اللي هو accident food discovers.
Yes.
طب, can you imagine a world without creamy ice cream cones? Isn't this depressing to imagine life without choy, delicious chocolate, cheap cookies, and who could get without salty, addictive, crispy potato chips? Yet all these treats are fairly recent inventions that may never have come into existence if we weren't for lucky accident.
Yes.
Have
Complete.
you ever enjoyed أكمل مستر ولا نشرح العنوان ولا
Complete.
نشرح البداية؟
Complete.
مستر؟
أيوة complete.
تمام. Have you ever enjoyed the cool refreshment of a popsicle on a hot summer day? If so, you have a 12-year-old boy named Frank Eberson. To think one winter day in '95, young Eberson was making soda pop by mixing powdered soda and water. He accidentally left the mixing bucket outside with the mixing stick in overnight. That night, the temperature reached freezing. In morning, Emerson discovered that the fruit, flavored liquid, had frozen to the stick. All thought he tried, and like the inventions, it wasn't until 18 years later that occurred to him to turn his invention into a business. Emerson children revered the treat made by Thayer Bob as a popsicle name. Steak and eventually become the official name. Today, popsicle are enjoyed by millions of people around the world.
Okay. Okay. Now, Leith, I want you to tell your friends what does this mean, accidental food discoveries. At first, to know what we are going to take.
إنه حوادث صنعت الفود صنعت الأكل يعني يعني لو هذه الحوادث ما كان صارت هذه الأكل صارت بالصدفة.
Excellent. Excellent. طيب, now I want to tell me what did this person or what does this person discover at first.
اللي هو
Hmm.
اللي هو أبرسون
اللي هو فرانك ابرسون. Hmm.
إنه ترك دلو بالخارج مع العصا
Yes.
وضعه في الليل وهو كان التمبريتشر اللي هو كان منخفض.
Okay.
فوضع السودا
Yes.
وضع ستيك بيناتها كمان ووضع بيك باوندر اللي هو بعدين في التمبريتشر في الات نايت في اللاست نايت كان التمبريتشر منخفض فصنعت له الايس كريم فهي بالصدفة كانت.
Okay. Can you say this in English?
اللي هو اقولها بالانجليزي تمام.
يعني باختصار كده اللي انت قلته او اللي انت فهمته من الجزئيه باختصار كده. in briefly.
اللي هو he left a bucket of soda out one cold night with a mixing stick.
Yes. Yes.
And it's a first because the temperature is so low.
Yes.
And
So.
he making ice cream.
Mm. So we can say that person discovered this kind of food accidentally.
Yes, Mr.
Okay, okay. Thank you for you. Thanks for you, Leif. Thanks a lot. ممتاز.
Thank you,
برافو
Mr.
عليك. Thanks. طيب now I want another student to reading. I want اتفضل يا عمر. اتمنى ان تكون حليت مشكله المايك عندك. اتفضل يا عمر. عمر محمد. عمر محمد، ما زال في عندك مشكله يا عمر في المايك. طيب حاول تحل المشكله وبعدين شارك، ما عنديش اي مشكله. حاول تشوف ايه المشكله عندك في المايك وبعدين تشارك. طيب نشوف كده ايوان. الشباب اللي موجودين معانا. ايوان. يلا يا حبايبي الشباب اللي موجودين. ايوان، عاوزين كده مشاركه من كل الشباب اللي موجودين. I want you to participate me to read and know all the information related to the lesson of today. طب يوسف فاضل. يوسف. طب الحسين. اتفضل يا يوسف. يوسف فاضل اتفضل.
Good morning, Mr.
Good morning, Yusuf. I want you to complete from here, from this part.
Okay. But perhaps your dessert of choice on a hot day is an ice cream or cone. If so, you should be glad for the unexpected event that brought two men together. For the 1904 St. Louis World's Fair, an ice cream vendor named Charles Minches was doing such a booming business. Thus, he ran out of bowls to put the ice cream in. The vendor next to Minches was a young Syrian immigrant named Ernest Hamwi. Hamwi was selling a Syrian treat called zalabiya, a crisp wafer-like pastry. Hamwi came up with a solution to Minch's quandary. Hamwi rolled some of his warm pastry into a cone, so thus Minches could put ice cream inside. In that instant, a favorite international hot weather treat was born.
تمام. Now can you tell your friends what did you understand from this part or this paragraph? Who discovered this kind of food, and what is this kind of food this person discovered?
Charles Minches and Ernest Hamwi discovered made the ice cream on cone.
The ice cream cone. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. He discovered it accidentally or no? He discovered this kind of food accidentally or no?
Yes, accidentally.
How do you know?
Charles Minches ran out of bowls to put the ice cream in it. So he took biscuits from Ernest Hamwi.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Yusuf. Thanks for you. Thanks. Now I want another student to complete reading from this part and discuss some points related to the text with me. I want another one to read this paragraph. It's about another kind of food. I want you to read and discuss some points with me related to this paragraph. Who can? الشباب اللي موجودين معانا. طلال خالد. طلال. طيب عبد السلام عبد المحسن. ماجد فيصل. ماجد. طيب the student wants to participate me. Please raise your hand and I will give you the mic to talk and read. يلا اللي هو مستعد للمشاركه يا شباب يرفع يده كده، وانا هديله الفرصه ان هو يشارك ويقرا كده معانا، ونبدا نعمل بعض الدسكشن عن الاشياء اللي هو يقرا. طيب هو كان عمر. عمر.
حضرتك سامعني يا مستر؟
ايوه كده تمام يا عمر، اتفضل.
تمام يا مستر. معلش كنت وقفت لغاية فين بس؟
طيب هنا part اللي هو باراجراف 3 اللي هو من عند of course.
Okay. Of course, frozen treats. Some prefer the indulgence of delicious freshly bagged goods like chocolate chip cookies. These people should be grateful for an accidental discovery made by an American housewife in 1930. One day, Ruth Wakefield was making chocolate cookies when she realized that she had run out of baker's chocolate. Wakefield decided to substitute broken up pieces of a chocolate bar she had on hand. She assumed that the small pieces of chocolate would melt and mix into the butter. However, after taking the cookies out of the oven, Wakefield discovered that the chocolate hadn't melted. Instead, there were little chips of chocolate throw, throughout the cookies. The cookie, much to Wakefield's delight, the chocolate chip cookie proved to be a great success with her family and guests. Wakefield sold the recipe to the chocolate company Nestle, Nestle in exchange for a lifetime supply of chocolate chips. It wasn't long before the chocolate chip cookie became a world famous treat.
Okay.
Um,
Now,
okay.
Omar, I want you to tell your friends what did you read about?
I read about
What is the
the
food?
history of chocolate.
Yes, no, that not the history of chocolate. Our title is Accidental Food Discoveries. ده العنوان بتاعنا وده العنوان الرئيسي للدرس، ولكن أنا بتكلم على الجزئية دي. What is this kind of food and who is the person who discovered this kind of food?
The person is Ruth Wakefield. صح؟
What again, Omar?
Wakefield.
About Wakefield. هو انت تقصد الشخص اللي هو راث ويكفيلد.
أيوة
تمام. طيب
مظبوط.
what does he discover or what did he discover?
He discovered an American لا no يعني he discovered an American housewife.
لا مش انا بقول لك what did he discover, what kind of food did he discover or he or she discovered.
He discovered he discovered he discovered that the chocolate hadn't melted.
Excellent. اللي هي chocolate chip cookie. Chocolate chip cookies. Okay, I want you to tell your friends
Yes, chip cookie.
how did she discover this kind of food? Did she discover it accidentally or she wanted to discover it? هل اكتشفتها كده بالصدفة ولا هي يعني كانت تريد بالفعل اكتشافها؟
هي لا كانت تريد اكتشاف يعني
No, she
يعني
accidentally
يعني
discovered this kind of food If you read carefully, you can find the answer on this paragraph. I want you to read it again and look carefully at this part. One day, Ruth waked up was baking chocolate cookies when she realized that she had.
Okay, read it again.
لو قرأت الجزئية read it again. I want you to read it again. من أول one day كده.
Okay, one day Russ.
ها
Okay. Wakefield was making chocolate cookies when it ran out of baker's chocolate.
تمام.
يبقى yes, he making chocolate cookies.
يعني هي الظروف اللي خلتها انها تنشئ هذه او تخترع او تكتشف هذه او هذا النوع من الطعام. If we read it carefully, we can know the details that help us to know that this person discovered the chocolate chip cookies accidentally. Okay, thanks for you, Omar. Thanks a lot. Now I want another one to go to the last paragraph and read it, then tell us who discovered this kind of food and what or how did she or he discover this kind of food. Who can read? ها احمد ياسين. اوكي اتفضل يا احمد.
سأبدأ من but if crunchy.
من اف كرانشي. تمام.
If crunchy, salty treats like potato chips are your preference, then you owe a debt of gratitude to a cranky chef and a picky diner who lived over 150 years ago. On August 24th, 1853, George Crumb was working as a chef in a restaurant when he became frustrated with a customer. The customer had repeatedly sent back his French fries, complaining that they were too thick and soggy. Fed up, Crumb decided to teach him a lesson. Crumb sliced the potatoes as thinly as possible and fried them in grease. To Crumb's astonishment, the customer thought the chips were uh, delectable. They became a regular item on the restaurant's menu, and in time became a staple of the global fast food industry. Clearly, not all accidents are bad. Some have made our lives richer, sweeter, and tastier.
Okay, Ahmed, now I want you to tell your friends what this kind of food and who is the person who discovered this kind.
Potato chips and George Crumb, a chef, discovered it.
ها تمام. طيب طيب who discovered this kind of food?
Uh, George Crumb, chef, miss.
Excellent.
But
When?
in August 24th, 1853.
Okay, did this person discover this kind of food accidentally or no?
Yes, accidentally, miss.
How do you know?
Because it was written that he tried to teach a bad customer a lesson. So he sliced the potatoes as thinly as possible. He was not intentionally making a new food kind of food. He was trying to make something very thinny to the customer, but he ends up making some new food that everyone likes now.
Excellent, excellent. أحمد برافو عليك. برافو برافو. Thanks a lot. برافو يا شباب. Thanks for you. Thanks a lot, أحمد. طيب, now, my dear students, I wanted to tell you that uh, these kinds of food, uh, clearly not all accidents are bad. يعني at the end of the paragraph or the article, he says clearly, not all accidents are bad. Some have made our lives richer, sweeter, and tastier. Okay, because these discovered some important kinds of foods accidentally. Okay, now my dear students, I want to play the audio script or audio tape to listen to the article again to correct your mistakes. Then we can discuss some questions related to this article again after finishing to listen to this article. So, my dear students, I want you to pay attention and listen carefully, and I want you to follow the listening audio on your workbook pages 60 and 61 to know all the information or to correct your mistakes in reading. Okay, good. Are you ready? Good. Let's start.
Accidental food discoveries. Can you imagine a world without cool, creamy ice cream cones? Isn't it depressing to imagine life without chewy, delicious chocolate chip cookies? And who could get by without salty, addictive, crispy potato chips? Yet all these treats are fairly recent inventions and may never have come into existence if it weren't for lucky accidents. Have you ever enjoyed the cool refreshment of a popsicle on a hot summer day? If so, you have an 11-year-old boy named Frank Epperson to thank. One winter day in 1905, young Epperson was making soda pop by mixing powdered soda and water. He accidentally left the mixing bucket outside with the mixing stick in it overnight. That night, the temperature reached freezing. In the morning, Epperson discovered that the fruit-flavored liquid had frozen to the stick. Although he tried and liked his invention, it wasn't until 18 years later that it occurred to him to turn his invention into a business. Epperson's children referred to this treat made by their pop as a popsicle. That name stuck and eventually became the official name. Today, popsicles are enjoyed by millions of people around the world. But perhaps your dessert of choice on a hot day is an ice cream cone. If so, you should be glad for the unexpected event that brought two men together at the 1904 St. Louis World's Fair. An ice cream vendor named Charles Menches was doing such booming business that he ran out of bowls to put the ice cream in. The vendor next to Menches was a young Syrian immigrant named Ernest Hamwi. Hamwi was selling a Syrian treat called zalabia, a crisp, wafer-like pastry. Hamwi came up with a solution to Mench's quandary. Hamwi rolled some of his warm pastry into a cone so that Mench's could put ice cream inside. In that instant, a favorite international hot weather treat was born. Of course, not everyone is a fan of frozen treats. Some prefer the indulgence of delicious freshly baked goods, like chocolate chip cookies. These people should be grateful for an accidental discovery made by an American housewife in 1930. One day, Ruth Wakefield was making chocolate cookies when she realized she had run out of baker's chocolate. Wakefield decided to substitute broken up pieces of a chocolate bar she had on hand. She assumed that the small pieces of chocolate would melt and mix into the batter. However, after taking the cookies out of the oven, Wakefield discovered that the chocolate hadn't melted. Instead, there were little chips of chocolate throughout the cookie. Much to Wakefield's delight, the chocolate chip cookie proved to be a great success with her family and guests. Wakefield sold the recipe to the chocolate company Nestle in exchange for a lifetime supply of chocolate chips. It wasn't long before the chocolate chip cookie became a world-famous treat. But if crunchy, salty treats like potato chips are your preference, then you owe a debt of gratitude to a cranky chef and a picky diner who lived over 150 years ago. On August 24th, 1853, George Crumb was working as a chef in a restaurant when he became frustrated with a customer. The customer had repeatedly sent back his French fries, complaining that they were too thick and soggy. Fed up, Crumb decided to teach him a lesson. Crumb sliced the potatoes as thinly as possible and fried them in grease. To Crumb's astonishment, the customer thought the chips were delectable. They became a regular item on the restaurant's menu and, in time, became a staple of the global fast food industry. Clearly, not all accidents are bad. Some have made our lives richer, sweeter, and tastier.
Okay, my dear students, after listening to this article again, I hope you can listen and follow on your student book and correct your mistakes in reading. So, my dear students, I want to give you some questions related to this article as a homework, and I want you to answer them, and I will check them again in the next lesson, inshallah. Because I want to go to another part of the lesson, I want to show you some important sites, as I told you, that can enhance your English. As you see, these are some sites or some links that can help you to enhance your learning English. There are general sites, for speaking skills, for listening skills, writing, reading. These are very, very important sites that can help you to enhance your English. So let's go to the first one. Let's take this link. I will show you how to enter. If we put the link here on Google search, we can enter this site. This is a very, very important site that can help you to enhance your English. If we go to a reading skill, we can find more titles. The first one, beginner A1. If we enter here, we can find more topics. We can enter one of them. If we look carefully, we can find here the reading text. We can read the text at first. Then we can answer some questions related to this text. Task 1, if we go here, we can find some questions after reading the text, and we can answer it and know the mark at the end of reading or answering the question. This is an important site that can help you to enhance your reading in English and how to answer questions related to reading texts. Okay, and now, my dear students, let's go to the last part. I want you to go or enter the class point, and I want you to answer these questions. I want you to answer these questions, but before starting the quiz, I want you to look carefully at the code and enter the room. I want you to enter the room at first. I will send you the link on the chat. يعني الناس هتمسح الباركود يا شباب، وهبعت لكم أيضا الرابط بسرعة كده على الشات. بس يا ريت يعني أسرع شوية على أساس ندخل بسرعة ونقدر نحل الأسئلة. كده معاكم الرابط في الشات ومعاكم الباركود على الشاشة. طبعا انا هشيل الباركود من على الشاشة والباقي يدخل من الشات، يدخل على الرابط من الشات. يلا يا شباب بسرعة بقى كده. طبعا كل سؤال هيكون مدته 20 seconds، 20 ثانية، بسرعة كده. اختياري، هو كله اختياري، 3 أسئلة اختياري. Okay, this is the first question. Excellent, excellent. I see you choose A. Okay, it's right answer. Excellent, my dear students. Now let's go to the second question. Good, good, my dear students. Excellent. And now let's go to question number 3. Excellent. Okay, my dear students, I want to thank you for your attendance and for your participation. Thanks a lot. Now let's see the answer for question number 3. Okay, good. Okay, my dear students, now let's see the answer for question number 3. As you see, the answer is letter D, and your answer is right. Thanks a lot, my dear students. Thanks for you. It's your answer. You choose letter D. Yes, it's right. Thanks a lot. Now, my dear students, I want you to answer the homework I gave you on page 61, and I will check this homework again in the next lesson, inshallah. Thanks a lot, my dear students, for your attendance and for your participation. Because we have to end the lesson of today, I'd like to thank you again and again, and goodbye.